Okay, let's kick this bad boy off. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, welcome to Show the Outdoor Racing Show, and we are your hosts. I'm Harry, and I'm Richard, and we have a special guest with us here. This is Kristina Raskina over in Italy, joining us in New Zealand. So, can you hear us, Kristina?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Hello.
Not just any normal human being. She is a professional expert, wingsuiter and speedwing expert, and she does a lot of other things in her free time, I'm sure. But there you go. Big intro for Kristina. Yeah. Very cool. And thanks so much for tuning in, everyone, past, present, and future. We appreciate it very much. Like, share, and comment. Is that everything? Yeah. Okay, so if you want to ask Kristina a question, you're welcome to dial in, and if we've got some time, we'll endeavour to answer your questions. Yes. So, thanks so much for joining there, Kristina. Can you just maybe just introduce yourself and say a little bit about yourself for the people?
Well, hello everyone. My name is Kristina. I'm originally from Russia, but when I started flying, skydiving, it changed my life, and so I moved to Italy. It's about 17, 18 years ago, and since then, since the first flight from a tandem when you're jumping with the instructor, I've never stopped flying. So, and just got into paragliding, speed flying, and I love everything that flies. So in the air.
That's awesome. Wow, that's really cool. So, so would you call it human flight? Is that kind of what you call it, or do you just call it like a good time when you're flying through the skies? How would you describe it?
So in base jumping, it's a body flying. So it's an amazing feeling. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling with depending on your body position, what you can do. And there are different disciplines with the suits, without the suits, and it's just incredible. And obviously with the speed flying and paragliding, it's a different thing. Like you're flying with your wing. And the sensations of the speed are similar, especially with the speed flying, if you compare speed flying and proximity flying, but it's different in terms of how you feel it on your body.
Cool. And just for the people out there that haven't seen Kristina fly down a hill at Mark 1, and could you explain what speed flying is, and proximity flying, and wingsuiting? What's the difference between those three? So just for someone that might not know. Yeah.
So wingsuit flying is it can be performed from the fixed objects like the mountains, or it can be performed from the airplane, from the aircraft. And it's a suit like a squirrel, like a flying squirrel. So you have the wings in between your arms and then in between your legs, and it can let you glide through the air. And this
glider, right?
Yeah, like a glider, but with your body and with your wings. And speed flying, it's you have the wing above your head. It's like paragliding, but it's a mini size, which goes with paragliding wing. You usually stay high, and you try to get the distance, and you catch the flows and catch the thermals. And with the speed flying, it's a mini wing, and you just go fast and close to the mountains, and it's about kind of like the thrill and the speed, and you don't catch thermals.
Okay. With the speed wing, do you plan where you're going to go in the run, or do you just sort of make it up as you go along, or what's your approach to speed? Because it's so close to the ground, right?
Yeah, most of the times you know your line. So first you fly higher and just explore where you want to go. And then with times you go closer and closer to the ground. So first of all, it's very important when you go to the new places, especially not flown by any other people, just to look for the cables. And first you walk the line, and then you start flying the line, and then you start to come closer and closer. So you don't just go straight away not knowing where you go. You know from the very beginning, you know where you start, where your approximate line is, and where you're gonna land. That's kind of important.
So it's a bit like a race car driver. They walk the track, or when we do horse riding and horse jumping, we actually go out and walk the course before we actually jump on the same sort of deal, different discipline. But yeah, I get what you mean. That's cool. And I guess going back to the origins of any of this, how did you get into such a cool sport discipline? Yeah.
So originally it was the fault of my uncle. He started skydiving. He's into all sorts of things. He's alpinist, and he's been into yachts, and so he started skydiving. He was doing his IFF course, which is the basic course for skydivers, and he told me, I was 18 at the time, and he told me, he's like, you should try skydiving, it's kind of amazing. And so it was one day we were with friends, and I said, like, let's go skydiving, guys. And some of the friends agreed, and then we went and then never stopped. But it was so funny, like already on the way to the drop zone, to the place, to the airport where they drop jumpers, I had already the feeling that this is what I like. Like even already on the way, without jumping, I had like the feeling of like I like already this feeling of like going to that place. But my uncle now he never thought I will get into. He thought that I will just do a jump like everyone else, like just do a jump for experience and stop it. So he never thought I really will get into it. And so every time I meet him now, he will try to talk me out of it. He's like, well, you've done enough jumps. That's isn't it the time to stop? So yeah.
I guess relating to that, that's exactly how we got into like drones, like behind us and flying planes and all that. It was our uncle. So yeah, there we go. We have something in common there. It's very cool. And what was that?
You guys started with drones in the time of the COVID. That's when it started.
We actually started flying in general, like model planes and stuff, when we were little kids, like maybe like 10. Yeah, so we've been flying a very long time. And then only recent years when drones came out, then we dived into the world of drones. So yeah, so we've been making planes and drones and all that kind of stuff since we're very, very little. So we never stopped. No, we don't. Life goes on, but we never stop. Yeah, it's true. And any other questions, Ed? We saw on your Instagram page one day you had a different type of wingsuit. Is there different types of wingsuit? I think you explained which one. It was a different kind of one without the arms. Was there different kinds of wingsuits out there?
Yes, it's not called the wingsuit. It's called the one piece, which isn't particularly like mine is called onesie. So you have kind of a wing in between your legs, but your arms are free. So you don't have the wings for your arms. So you're still making the distance. Not as much as with a wingsuit, but your arms are free. So for example, when you open your parachute, so you don't land the wingsuit, obviously. When you open your parachute, your arms are free to deal with any kind of malfunction. So in a way, it's a safer device.
Yeah. No, it's quite interesting. It's just as efficient in terms of flight as a wingsuit. Yeah, it's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's in terms of performance, it's similar. It doesn't let you do all the jumps. Like for example, here in the area, there are some jumps that are made only for wingsuit, and some jumps that are good for wingsuit and for one piece. But it's possible. But it's possible to glide just with your body as well. It just depends on you need to take the position. So it's this kind of like a D-arch position with your arms like here, and you're making the distance. So Obviously, it's nothing like a wingsuit. When the wingsuit was designed, like it just took, like a step forward for people to fly, but that's what people were flying in the beginning with their body.
So is that position is called training? Is that correct?
Yes.
That's interesting. We haven't we've personal experience in terms of skydiving. 2 experiences. One, we were doing a tandem skydive jump each. We
not quite as exciting.
Not as exciting as maybe your initial flight possibly. And the other one, we've been in a wind tunnel with the pushing up, and then you're flying above it, hovering.
Have you been in that sort of wind tunnel thing?
Yeah, I've been in the vertical wingsuit wind tunnel, and also I've been to both. We have now 2 wind tunnels in the world. One in Stockholm, and one in Perm, which is in Russia, which is a horizontal wind tunnel. And you can fly in a wingsuit in it. So yeah, and soon they will open one in Slovenia as well.
Sounds like we need to go for a road trip, little
miniaturized one,
and take that into a wind tunnel. That sounds like cool.
No, now that's it. Like which is before in skydiving, when you go to the wind tunnel, vertical tunnel, like you upgrade your skills, and people who are going to the wind tunnels are just ninjas. And now it's the same thing with the wingsuit tunnel. So people who go there, they're doing all sorts. It's in terms of performance flying, doing the performance flight for speed. And for distance, it's maybe not that useful. But for acrobatics, like, it's amazing. You can stay in the tunnel and train all the transitions, and it's a very useful tool.
Wow. And going into a little bit more, diving into the world of wingsuits, where do you get them made? Are they just like, I assume they're not made at just like their local dairy, so you have to like get them custom fitted, or I assume they look pretty.
It does look pretty custom fit, right? Would each person have a different size, or would it be tailored like a suit or something like that?
Yes, before getting a suit, so there are a few companies now that are making the suits. So there used to be one in the United States, and there's an in Russia as well. And so to make a suit, you need to measure yourself with the tape, and there are lots of measures that it's tailored for each person. And also, it's very important to choose the right suit for you, for your skill. So to start with, you start with a small suit, with small wings, and then slowly you progress. And then there are different wingsuits where you have the inlets, like for the air to come in. So you have the front inlets, and also you have the back inlets for your back flying. So it's also already like,
so when you rotate
more.
Yes.
So more. Yes. That's those inlets. Yeah, and you have a back inlets as well. Yeah, amazing.
As the FPV wingsuit that we're making on the channel. So he's just showing it for scale so the audience can see.
Yes, and John here asks, what's the fabric made of?
For the wingsuit, ours is made of ripstop, which is kite material. But what's the real McCoy made of?
Oh, is it FPV? I think the fabric is called FPV. So I'm not sure.
The specialized material.
Interesting. Does it have to be kind of like a nylon-based material? It somewhat.
It has to be strong.
Yeah, it needs to be the material that is the air stop. So when the air goes in, it just stays there.
So when you're flying, is it quite like mushroomy, kind of like billows out a bit?
It blows, like the whole suit when it catches the air, and the air goes in the airlocks, like it stops there, and it kind of like blows everything, and it puts you in, like, the nowadays wingsuits, they put you in the right position to fly. So before, there used to be a different chambers, And now the nowadays wingsuit is a one chamber, so it just like inflates like better.
Okay. Okay. Just get more refined with the design until they're pretty much spot on. Right? That's cool. And in terms of like filming to get your amazing shots, do you what kind of
because
so if like, people aren't watching, and what Harry's talking about is Kristina's got an amazing Instagram page, and that's the one that we predominantly use. I know you got a YouTube and other social media accounts as well, but that's the one that we predominantly use. And you've got these amazing shots where the camera's behind you and you're using like speedwing, or you got or someone's following you while you're doing your wingsuiting. It's pretty amazing stuff. How you get those shots?
So most of the time, it's just an Insta360 camera.
Nice.
that is for wingsuit flying. You're putting it on your helmet, and it's with a stick, so it just gives you a little bit of distance. And for speed flying, it's on your back. It's also on a selfie stick, so it feels like someone is following you. But obviously obviously the best shots are when actually the actual cameraman is following you, but it's a hard job, and it's a hard job for someone to follow. But it's obviously it's something to do, but it's not always you have somebody to follow you.
Yeah, that's true. And do you, is that quite common? Do you ever like jump solo, or do you like mainly jump with the crowd? I assume with a crowd, right?
Yeah, you'd always want to jump with your friends.
To be honest, like let's say the advantage of base jumping is that you can just do it on your own whenever you want. You just climb the mountain and you do your solos, and it's very therapeutic as well. Just walking. So I like about base jumping. I like the whole thing about it. I like the approach. I like the planning. Packing less so, but it's kind of like part of the game. But yeah, you can do it solo. So most of my jumps are solo, and then but it's nice as well, like to share the experience and to to do a high five and a hug after the jump. Like that's an incredible feeling of like sharing the experience.
Yeah, no, it'd be amazing. It'd be amazing.
I've wondered often about this. When you go for like, say, you're hiking to do a base jump, do you get somebody? Because obviously, there's certain things that you got to take up with you when you're climbing the mountain, as it were. Because it's not everybody's going to land with a helicopter at the top. Often you're going to have to pick up yourself. Do you carry all the equipment in your jump, or do you have to get somebody else to carry it back down, or do you walk back up yourself and then take the rest of it down, or do you just pack it all perfect?
Right, or do you throw it off beforehand and then you?
So there are different approaches. There's the one that you're talking about. It's kind of like a base climbing. It's when you are actually doing the climbing, so alpinist approach, and then usually there's a person who climbs with you, and then they carry the gear. So nowadays, some of the wingsuits, they have like big pockets, so you can store a lot of things like inside it. You can store your ropes and the quick draws, and you can store a lot of things. And so there are famous guys that are doing those amazing jumps from over 6,000 meters, and it's a project, so it's a hard thing to do. So what most of the people are doing, it's just hiking. So you don't have equipment for climbing. You just hike, and that's it. You're wearing everything on yourself. You're putting your bag afterwards in the pocket, and that's it. You're flying down.
No, that makes a lot more sense.
Sounds cool. And I'm going into that idea a little bit. I know some athletes do different things. They like to get into the zone.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you ever been watching the X Games, we watch the X Games quite a bit when it's on, and that's what they do. They have like earpods on,
or earplugs, and they're listening to their music.
Is that what you kind of do, or is it like a different kind of experience for you? Or
do you sort of get into the zone before you go for your jump, or you just go 3, 2, 1, jump?
So actually, for me, how it works, I'm getting into the zone. So even before going for jumping, I'm kind of like making this questions like, do I want to jump? Am I ready to jump? Did I have enough sleep and rest? And am I feeling good? So I'm kind of like pre-mindset before even start hiking. And so when I'm already on a hike, I know that I'm good for jumping. And so I most of the time I don't go with the music. So I just hike through the forest and listen to the birds.
You're prepared mentally, already up front, going into it. That's cool.
So like when you're already on the mountain, on top of the mountain, ready to go, just taking a few breaths and checking again with yourself is like, do you really want to do it? And it's actually not very natural for the body to do that step into the void. So there are, on different days your mind will be telling you different things of like, and different questions. It's like, do you really want to do it? Like, it's scary, like you might die. And then you're talking with yourself, like talking through of like, okay, what are you scared about? Like, is it your packing? Is it the wind? Is it your equipment? And so you're just breaking it down into pieces and answering all the questions. It's important to have all the questions to the answers that your mind will come up, and then you go, or you don't. Like there were many times when I would stand on the edge and I was like, I just don't feel like it. Like it just feels it just feels off. And you walk down. In the moment it might feel like a failure, but it's not. Like if you don't feel like it, like
if you're not feeling it, don't go. Yeah, absolutely. That's when we're doing some of our stunts on our channel or life in general. Most of it's to do with like drones and things like that, but or projects, planes. But quite often you exactly like you said, you're prepped, you're gone through. It's sort of like a mental checklist of what could go wrong or what and what could go right. Obviously, you tend to focus on those ones, but and then of course, I guess we sort of do the same sort of thing. You're pretty much ready. By the time you're about to go for it, you're pretty much good to go, or you don't go, or you don't, like you said, if you're not feeling it. And John asked a question: what things can go wrong after launch? After a flight launch, so there's quite a few malfunctions you can get with parachutes, can't there?
Well, with the parachutes, the parachute is made in a way that it will open. Like, because we, especially in base jumping, we have only one parachute, and so the way it's packed, it's packed like a reserve parachute, like in the skydiving. So it will open. But there are many things that can go wrong. So for example, starting from to pull your parachute, you need to throw your pilot chute. So it's like a mini chute that takes the main parachute out. And so it's important to, first of all, pack it well, and second of all, throw it well. So if you have a poor throw, it can go into your burble, especially after the wingsuit. It can go into your burble and just stay there. So you need then to change the position of your wingsuit just for like a dive. So for the pilot chute to take air and to take your main parachute out. Then what happens kind of more often is the line twist. So the main parachute opens, and depending on your body position, if during the opening you put a little bit of your shoulders in, or if you look too much back, like what's happening, you can have the line twist. Then what everyone is scared about is the tension knot. So that one of the lines will get a knot, and then it's kind of like an extreme situation that happen quite rare, but it will happen eventually to the jumpers, and so the parachute starts spinning, and it's hard to get out of it. So you need to control your spinning just to go on the opposite way, and just somehow still to be able to land the parachute. Then another rare one can be a line over, which is, that's it, like the line will go over your parachute, and that thing is very hard to get out of. So but that is very
on the outside. I've actually heard of quite a few examples of people surviving without any chute.
It's true.
So you might be right on that aspect too.
Yeah, that is happened a few times
in history. That
well, yeah, I don't know if so my ex-husband is James Bull, and he is one of the person who landed without the canopy above his head. So they were jumping in Kamchatka, and he landed on the snow. So the only thing that he managed to do, he threw his pilot chute, and the canopy came out, and the only thing it did, it just changed his position. So when you're flying, you're in this position, so it changed his position into this, and then he landed on his back in the snow. He made a big hole in the snow, and that's it. The canopy was not open, like above his head. So that's that is one example. And then obviously another one is if you saw the jump of Gary Connery, where he lands his wingsuit on the carbon boxes. Yeah, that was very impressive, and just how
he's the guy that taught Felix, the guy that jumped from Red Bull Stratos, that jumped from the atmosphere. Is that correct?
I'm not sure if it was. I'm not sure if it was Gary, if he was on the team. That part.
I just remember seeing articles. I might be wrong.
So Gary Connery, was he teaching the Felix? No, not. I think it's Spacey. I know the guy that was on the team. It was Spacey Tracy. It's one of the old base jumpers. So yeah, that yeah.
And we've got a question here. John says, do you ever hit bad updrafts like thermals and those sorts of things?
Around mountains.
Around mountains and those sorts of things. Because you do hit them when you're flying over, even with a plane or helicopter. Like, would that even have that much of an impact on speed flying or wingsuits?
So for wingsuit flying, when I was jumping, so I usually try not to jump in the very extreme weather conditions, and when I was jumping in the strong conditions, you would feel it in the air. So, but it doesn't affect you like that much. So, not that long time ago, 2 weeks ago, there was an accident over wingsuit flyer, and she was flying by herself. And we can't say for sure what happened, but it might have been one of the reasons that there was a downdrift. So she was at the place where there was a downwind, and when she jumped off, the wind might have pushed her from the top and made her go like lower than usual. But yeah, not so good. And in terms of speed flying, yeah, I had one very near death experience where I was flying on the wrong side of the mountain, so on the lee side of the mountain. Lee side of the mountain is, for example, this is the mountain, and then the wind comes from here, and then does kind of like the rotor, and this is the lee side of the mountain. And so usually the lee side of the mountain is full of thermals as well, like very strong thermals. So at the time I didn't know better. So I really liked that line on this side of the mountain, and so I, with the speedwing, I just took off and hit the thermal, and my canopy just closed like this, like a horseshoe. Wow. And I was close to the ground, and luckily, probably was close enough, like not higher. If I would be higher, that it would be, I wouldn't be probably sitting here. So it closed and then started to reopen, and then I hit the ground. So I got kind of like lucky and walked away from that exit.
Well, I guess you'd say, thanks very much, Parachute, for opening when it did.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to positives, right? You always look so we've spoken about some of the cons, but what are some of the positive things? Because I know that a lot of people watching or watch in the future will want to see what does it feel like when you're rushing with a wind.
Like, how fast can you go?
Yeah, what's it like? What's it like under shoot?
With a wingsuit, like the proper elite experts can go up to even like 300 kilometers an hour horizontal speed.
Wow.
So yeah, that it can go very fast. But in terms of feeling, it's the feeling of freedom, like because you're in control where you're going, where you're flying, and it's indescribable feeling of like feeling the wind and being in control of where you're flying. It's for me, it's not about like much adrenaline, but it's just about this feeling of freedom. And especially if you jump with other people, is seeing their faces, is seeing their smile, and we can even talk during the flight. And it's like it's incredible.
Do you because quite often what we'll do is when we're flying our planes or whatever, we'll try and like sort of formation sync flying. So we'll talk to each other and say like such and such, and you sort of get it to try and be the cameraman behind the other guy.
Well, as close as possible.
As close as possible. Is that kind of like what's going on in your comms while you're talking with the other guys?
Yes. It's the same thing. It's like doing the formations. Like that's what we're trying to do. And in terms of like talking, is like, okay, we're going a little bit to the left, like turning, and or someone else will be saying like, okay, speed up a little bit. And in speed flying, it's useful to have the communication, especially if you lose each other from out of sight. So still to know that the other person is okay. And he's like, yeah, I'm still here. Like, I'm following you. I can see you. Like, let's go a little bit. Yeah, like for the turns, and it's fun. But during flight, you can even. We found out it was New Year's Eve. We were jumping, I think, in Delaware, like in the United States, and we were jumping for New Year's Eve. We jumped at night from the plane, and we were shouting to each other, and you can hear each other in flight, like "Happy New Year, Happy New Year!" And it's like, it's amazing. So you can hear each other, obviously, like just shouting to each other too. But it's not very efficient.
No.
But if you could sum it up, the feeling in one word, John says freedom. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's freedom, joy, and the endless joy. So yeah.
Nice. That's cool. And I know we didn't speak about wingsuits, but how do you fly a wingsuit for the people out there that don't know? Is it with your arms mainly, or you're in that V formation? Could you get a little bit of that?
So how do you fly wingsuit? So it's all in your, everything matters, like of your body position, everything matters. Like if you guys have there the wingsuit, so you can see that your legs are spread and your arms are spread. So for base jumping, when you jump off the mountain first, you're just relaxed with your arms down, and then slowly as the wind picks up, you start stretching your wings and stretching the fabric, and then you're flying with you mostly feel it on your arms, but it's important as well that you spread your legs and push your toes. Push your toe, point your toes, so it stretches the fabric as well. and not overdo it, because if you overdo it, you're over controlling the wingsuit, and yeah, you need to have like a good balance of feeling the suit and feeling the air as well.
Practice makes perfect, like anything, right? Yeah. Very cool. Well, that's very cool. Did you want to share the jet? Oh yeah, we'll show you the. We'll get your thoughts on the one of the other projects that we're working on. So one of the other projects that we're working on is the Jetwing. So just a second. So this is the pilot. This is me scanned. Oh yeah. So you can see the resemblance.
I love it.
There's the pilot. So that's the pilot, and it's quite large, isn't it? Moment. Okay, you got that one. So I get that one. Okay, so I'll move them out of the way, just for the essence of space. And let's get. Which way around? This way? Yeah. Okay. So you can see everything. Maybe I can spin around this way. Yeah, spin around. Okay. So this is the wing that goes on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So they do what do they call this? It's Jetwing in Dubai. Yeah, Jetman, right?
Jetman, yeah. Isn't he Jetwing? Jetwing?
Yeah, Jetwing, yeah. Jetwing. Okay. It's good. So you can take it. I'll take it back, but it's a little bit big. It's a bit bulky for the camera, but so in essence, we've got to work on the next part of the project. What we're working on is the parachute because it won't be landing on the ground. We want to keep it as authentic to the real thing as possible. What sort of canopy do you sort of suggest for us when we start making or sewing up the canopy? Yeah. Well, what do you sort of recommend? What do you think?
You mean in terms of something goes wrong, like for it to land?
Or in this particular case, that's how he'll be landing. He won't be landing on wheels or anything like that. He'll be only landing with the chute.
So I think, like, I'm not that technical, but I think like the most common would be just to go with a reserve paragliding parachute. So it's like a round parachute that you will open. You don't need to control it, but it will slowly descend and put your drone down.
Well, we'll take that under advisement. Yeah, so we'll start working out the calculations for the payload and it's designed. So yeah, so we'll get that underway. So thanks. And Johnson, when will that project be ready for human test flights? Great question. But yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for your thoughts on that one. Yeah, thanks. And I guess we ask everybody this question. I like this question. What is your favorite movie there, Kristina?
So to be honest, like in terms of movies, like it just all depends on the mood. So
it's the same.
Yeah. So it all depends on the mood. I really like action movies, of course, like Mission Impossible, where all the actions like are there. I really enjoy watching this, and I really enjoy.
Because in the last film, he actually, Tom Cruise actually did some of the speedwing that we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah, speed flying. He got into speed flying, and he did all the shots by himself, and skydiving as well. Like he's doing all the shots by himself, so it's very impressive. Like I like this dedication. So yeah.
Very cool. So you'd say Mission Impossible, the new one coming out, is it Kristina's?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's coming out. It's very, very close, isn't it? I think we'll be going to the premiere if we can. Yeah, if we can. Very cool. Very cool. And to get into a wingsuit, it's not just the average Joe can get into it. How many jumps do you think it takes for normal skydiving? Yeah, for even just skydiving in general, before you can do it yourself, without a tandem jump. There's quite a few.
So it's recommended to do at least 200-300 normal jumps from the plane before you start with a wingsuit.
200 or 300. All right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
No, that's cool because then then only like a person that's really, really dedicated can do it. So actually, that's quite cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but now with the wind tunnel, you can speed up the process, and yeah, if you have a wind tunnel, you can do it earlier, and you can try already wingsuit flying in the wind tunnel. So
you know what we should do, because
will help you a lot.
You know, before the live stream, we were talking about wing tunnels. Oh, yeah. You know what we should do for our show is we should make a mini wind tunnel and then put the little wing. Oh, that's an idea. You could do a scaled one, and then maybe get your thoughts on that. And John says 300. That's cool right there. That's what he thinks. That's pretty cool. It's quite amazing. So, how many jumps, kind of as a guesstimate, I guess you'd say, that you've ever done in your life? Oh, that'd be hard to calculate there. Yeah.
To be honest, I stopped counting. So for my skydiving, I have around 1,000 skydives, and I don't skydive now. I mostly base jump. And for the base jump, I stopped counting in 2008 when I got to 100, and so I stopped counting. So now, from 2008, I would guess approximately maybe 2,000 base jumps, but it's hard to say. Like it's very hard to say because I don't count. I don't think it's important of like the numbers. It's important of like your skills and the number of the objects that you're jumping from, like, and the difficulty of the objects that you're jumping from. That's most important.
And who you're jumping with, right? Yeah.
Lately, yeah, just like with two friends of mine mainly. One is a Russian, and another girl, she lives here now as well. Like so two locals that I jump with, but they're taking their own paths now. Like because of work, they have to move to a different place. So now I'm kind of like on my own. But the place where we live, it's the central part. It's called Brento in Italy. It's north part of Italy, so it's very famous for base jumpers. So one of the place, it's there are hundreds of base jumpers that come here like every week, and there is a special every day there is a special shuttles that organize there. So when you want to have a company, you will always have it like there.
So is that mainstream? That's cool. That's really cool. I guess I guess in terms of what some of the stuff that we do, we don't have that kind of sort of quantity of people around us doing our kind of thing, but we are part of a flying club. So yes. So that's quite. We get to get aerodrome, but it's not quite the same as flying beside a cliff face at Mach 1. That sounds.
But you're getting very close, no? With flying the drones, you have all the vision, and it's still impressive. Like when I had some injuries, that's what I used to do. Like I would watch fly the drone a little bit with the goggles, and also watch the base. There were some base jumps that were filmed, and then I would watch it through the goggles, and it was giving you a similar experience of like the visuals and. Maybe because I know already how it feels in real life, so it was giving me like similar emotions of the flight. So it was very nice.
Yeah, well, maybe we should chase you sometime. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, it sounds like we're going to do a road trip to Italy. Yeah, sounds like it. Sooner or later. Yeah. Is there any other questions that you'd like to ask us?
No, just when are you coming to Italy?
Great question. There you go. Our mate of ours, he always says, when you're coming to Vancouver? He's always asking us. We definitely need to get out more. But I guess we live vicariously through these videos and meeting great people just like yourself. Yeah. But one day it will happen, and we'll bring the cameras with us, and it'll be super, super epic, and we'll do it super cinematic, and we'll make Kristina look awesome because she's really doing awesome stuff as it is. So it's pretty easy. Yes, very easy. No, it's cool. No, I think we'll sort of sum it up there because this has been a great interview, and very cool. I know that there've been I know that we'd scheduled this live stream for a previous week, but no big deal. We got to it in the end, and it was well worth the wait. So thanks very much, Kristina, for Very cool. Okay, cool. We'll just sign out in a second. We'll just sign out with our music. And thanks very much, everybody, past, present, and future, for tuning into this live stream. We appreciate it very much. And we appreciate Kristina for tuning in and helping us out. It was very cool. Very great. Okay, let's sign out. Thank you, Kristina. Very cool. Okay, I'm Richard. This is Harry. That's Kristina. And this is the H&R Doing Racing Show. We have to thank all our sponsors. And thanks very much to Kristina. Very much. And very much. Okay, see you guys. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. See you guys. See you next week. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Adios. Cool.